What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and in today's video, we are going to rank all of the position players. We're going to rank the top 3 position players at each position. Some of them have more than 3, so we're going to go ahead and get into that. A couple notes before we start. We ranked all the starting pitchers yesterday. We also ranked the relief pitchers in the past. So if you want to look at those videos, be sure to check those out. We also have new gameplay on the channel. I had a video of my 11-1 events game, winning that game. Basically, I win a diamond if I can win the game. And also, we started a new gameplay series on the channel called The Underdog. So if you want to check out that video, that's a live comm gameplay, a new series that we're starting out. So if you'd like to check out that video, be sure to check that video out as well. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the top 3 players at each position in Diamond Dynasty. We're going to start with catcher. The best catcher in Diamond Dynasty, in my opinion, we have to go to the XP reward path to find him. And he is in this XP reward path. In my opinion, this is the best catcher in Diamond Dynasty. 103, 125. 73 is tough. The 73 power versus right is not, it's just tough, man. The power versus left at 112, though, is elite with the 125, 93. Love the fact that he has 95 blocking. I think that's fantastic. Has a pretty decent arm, pretty decent fielding, only 40 speed. To me, he's still the best. He's going to be really nice on Legend. I mean, that 103, 73 is going to be tough. You're not going to get a lot of home runs with that 73. That's kind of what the biggest flaw with this card is. But 125, 112, even if you just put him on your bench as a pinch hitter, that's still pretty lethal when you think about it. Like that 125, 112 is really elite right now with 93 vision. That's very, very solid. I'd put up with the 73 power versus right and just try to hit the gaps and try to hit line drives with Buster Posey. So to me, this is the best catcher in Diamond Dynasty right now. At number 2, we have Gary Sanchez. This card is a beast. 90, 101. 102, an absolutely elite swing. One of the best swings in the game. It's a little bit longer, but it's such a good swing. 50 vision is kind of low. It's kind of low, especially if you're playing up on Legend. Playing around All-Star, this card is amazing. Absolutely amazing. 90, 101, 102. You get them out of the Classics pack. This really should be the first card you take out of the Classics pack, in my opinion. Has 80 arm strength, only 70 blocks. Still has 49 speed, though, which is pretty fast for a Gary Sanchez card, I believe. So I have this card at number 2 for our catchers. At number 3, I have Craig Biggio. The only reason I'm not putting him at number 1, because honestly, he could be number 1, is because his primary is a second baseman. 106, 107, 79, 80, 101 vision. He has 90 speed. He has great fielding. Get him up to the Ruby version. He's going to have enough power on both sides to hit knocks. Has a pretty good swing. Just an absolute. I didn't even really realize this card can play left field and center field too right now either. But this card's an absolute beast. You get him from the AL collection reward, which is going to take some time to get to. Some of you guys are there already. Some of you guys put on some money to get there. Some of you guys went no money spent and have already got there, which is extremely beast. That's fantastic. But this card's really beast. This is, to me, you have this card at number 1, or you could have this card at number 3 for the best catcher, but I have him at number 3. All right, at first base, the number 1 first baseman, in my opinion, is 90 Willie Stargell. He has 91 contact versus right, 72 contact versus left, 100 power versus right, and 102 power versus left. He's got the fizzies in his power. He has 62 vision. He doesn't have good fielding and he doesn't have good speed, but what he does have is one of the quickest swings in all of MLB The Show. Like I said about that Gerard Dyson debut, The Underdogs, The Underdogs episode 1, go check that video out because Willie Stargell is just a beast on Legend. I don't know how he gets away with it with 62 vision. I just think the swing's so quick that when the pitch speed comes in fast, he's still got a really quick swing. You get him from completing the NL Central collection. He's a beast. Our number 2 first baseman is going to be Matt Olson. You could arguably have this card at number 1 as well. 82, 57, 104, 90 with 58 vision. He also has 95 fielding with 94 reaction, 36 speed. Really good swing. This is a beast card because he's good on offense and he's good on defense. He has good power and he hits left-handed. Lefties are nice to have. So he's an absolute beast. I got Matt Olson coming in at the number 2 spot for first base. Our number 3 spot is going to go to Pete Alonso, 68, 60, 103, 106, so he's got a lot of power. 43 vision is kind of what makes him tough to use, and his defense really, it just doesn't play very well for whatever reason. It really doesn't. 64 fielding, 50 arm, 64, 65, 40 speed. So I got Pete at number 3. This card's an absolute beast, though. I mean, he is really good, has good quirks too. First pitch hitter, dead red, rally monkey. So he's got some good quirks as well. If you like to swing the first pitch and you like fastballs, Pete can really, I don't know, he gets great exit velocity. This card's really, really good. The only reason this card's lower on my list is because it only has 43 vision and his defense isn't particularly good. There are plays that he's not going to make at first base that you would really like to see a first baseman make in comparison to someone like Matt Olson. Even Stargell hasn't been that bad over there. Plus, Stargell's a lefty, and having a lefty first baseman is always nice as well. So, but Pete can really, really hit, especially on something like All-Star Hall of Fame. He can really, really hit. You start getting out the legend, the 43 vision gets lower, but I keep him on my bench still as a pinch hitter. Our number 4 player at first base is going to be Willie McCovey, 98, 116 with 88 vision. Get this out of the high diamond pack. The reason this card's rated lower right now is you're definitely going to want to take Kluber and you're definitely going to want to take Rolly Fingers before you take this card. So it's going to be a while until you can pick this card. I meemy he's going to be solid out of this pack. I would take him with my number 3 pick. I would take him over Newhouser and I would take him over Ricky Henderson. But you need to take Corey Kluber's Cy Young card and Rolly Fingers Cy Young card first. Then you're going to pick up this card. So it's just, I'm putting this card lower on the list just because, you know, it takes a while to get to him. And he's only got 81-79 power versus left. That's just not very good, I mean, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put him lower on the list. And that's where I'm going to stick him for now. He would be a really good bench bat, though. And I think Giambi would be another good first baseman if you guys need a first baseman you get from the Yankees collection. All right, let's talk second base now. Obviously, the best second baseman in the game is Craig Biggio to me, 106, 107. Again, he's going to have over 80 power from both sides, 101 vision, 80 fielding. He's going to have a good arm, and he has 90 speed. So he's pretty much a 5-tool player. You'd like to see him have a little bit more power, but still, he's absolutely solid. One of the best players in the game. Plus, I mean, even at second base, having those secondary positions is nice. If you have to pinch run for your catcher, or if you have to do this or that, I mean, it's just absolutely nice. We already talked about him. He's an absolute beast. Our number 2 second baseman, you can even make an argument. I mean, this card is pretty dang solid as well. Like, just looking at his numbers, 104, 113, 86, 83, 104 vision, 92 fielding. He's so good on defense with that 92 fielding out there. Only 80 speed. This card, in a way, is almost as every bit as good as Craig Biggio in a way. This is a really, really good card. 104, 113. Again, over 80 power from both sides, 104 vision. 80 power is generally the threshold to hit perfect fly balls for home runs. So that's really solid. 92 fielding, 78 arm strength, 80 speed. Very, very solid card. Definitely one that I would recommend out here. A lot of people ask, you know, I have a video in depth on this. A lot of people ask, like, which one should I take? You need to, like, kind of take who helps your team the most. Ryan Sandberg can help your team. You know, Reggie Jackson can help your team. We'll get into all these other cards later, but Ryan Sandberg's an absolute beast. He's our second best second baseman. At the number 3 spot, we have Roberto Alomar, 102, 91, 54, 67 in the power. So he has, like, no power at all, which is not good. 94 vision. 91 fielding, though. He has diamond fielding. He has 79 speed. This isn't like the best version of Roberto Alomar that we'll get all year. We'll get one with probably more power and more vision. But this is a pretty solid one you get from the AL East collection. The reason I like him, really the only thing that he doesn't have is he doesn't have a lot of power. Let's see, I hit 360 with him. I had 9 home runs and 172 plate appearances. That's really the problem. He can come up with some clutch-based hits for you, but it's like, you really want players in Diamond Dynasty with power. You know, if you're building a team from scratch IRL, you're never going to be able to build a team of complete power 1 through 9 in your lineup and go back in time and pick up legends and put on your team. So when you're building a Diamond Dynasty team, you want power more than anything else. That's one of the things that you're going to want. You should have like ideally a lineup 1 through 9 that has power. So that's kind of the problem with him. But he does play solid defense, and he is a switch hitter, which is nice. Occasionally he'll get a hold of one. Most of the time, you're gonna be trying to put the ball in the gas, putting the ball in play, hitting him in the 8th spot in your lineup type of deal. But he's not too bad. He does have a great swing also, I should note. Like, he has one of the better swings in the game. And then we kind of have a tie for the next spot. Like Gleyber Torres, if you want to put him at second base, he's a beast. 93, 96 power with 70 vision. Extremely, extremely solid. I also like Fernando Tatis. Got a really, really good swing. Lower vision, but he has amazing arm strength if you were to play him at second base. Just that's elite arm strength for double plays and relays. And 89 speed, so I'm a big fan of Fernando Tatis Jr. as well. All right, so the best shortstop. Honestly, the best shortstop in the game is the Cap. Mine is 103, 96, 106, 103 with 93 vision. He's got 90 fielding, 92 arm strength, and 84 speed. He could be a little bit better. He could have a little bit more vision. There's some other things he could have. I don't think I have the best sunglasses. I don't have the best bat grip right now, which would add a little bit towards those things in particular. So he could be a little bit better, but he's still unbelievable right now. This is where I'd recommend you put your creative player right now. Just it's really fun to use them at shortstop. You're gonna have a 5-tool shortstop that can hit for power and is a switch hitter and has diamond defense and good speed. Like this is everything you'd ever want in a shortstop. The other one that would be really good is a balanced second baseman, but like I said, we got Ryan Sandberg, we got Craig Biggio. Catcher's pretty loaded. I personally recommend shortstop. It's a lot of fun to use a creative player shortstop too. It feels very fluid when they field. So you obviously want a good defender at shortstop as well. The next best shortstop, in my opinion, though, is the Silver Slugger, Barry Larkin. 113, 93, 62. Only 62 power versus right, which is tough. But he does have 93, 104 versus left, which is pretty dang good. He has 108 vision. His fielding is 86. 86 is always like a good tier for your fielding notch to be at. Like I always feel like you get pretty good animations. Like that's a pretty good gold fielding shortstop. It's not like an 81 or 82. I always feel like 86 is that level. I don't know how much it is in this particular game, but I like 86 just from the past, so I bet it's kind of the same. 81 arm. And he has 86 speed with 98 ceiling. So this to me is definitely your second best shortstop. He does only throw right. I mean, he's going to be really, really good against left-handed pitching. Really good against left-handed pitching. Like the 93, 104 with 108 vision is extremely elite right now in the game with our current card set. So I would definitely have Larkin as my number 2 shortstop. And then for our other 2 shortstops, I mean, we already talked about Tatis and we already talked about Gleyber. To me, they're the best 2. It just kind of depends. I really like Gleyber a lot, honestly. He's just such a good hitter. His defense isn't that good. He's kind of like Gary Sanchez. You know, he doesn't have the best defense or speed, has a decent arm, but he has just so much power and 70 vision. It's a really, really good card. It really is a really, really good card. So I'd probably have, I don't know, but I like Tatis too. He has got a great swing and he's got good power and he's got a great arm and he's got great speed. So I really like those 2. You know, we kind of talked about them earlier. Best third baseman in the game is Gary Sheffield. 107, 106, 110, 121, 104 vision. You're gonna ask and say he's a right fielder, and I completely understand that. He is a right fielder, but his fielding just isn't very good. He only has 65 fielding. He does have a 91 arm strength though, and that's good for third base. He doesn't have the KG side-to-side range that you would typically want for a third baseman, but he does. If he can get to the ball, he's got a cannon to fire it over. He doesn't make a ton of errors, to be honest with you, which is, I don't know how he doesn't, but he kind of has. He just really doesn't. So he has 71 speed at third base too, which is nice because a lot of third basemen are typically slow. So 71 speed is nice for you know, pop-ups that are in foul territory, stuff like that. And just overall for your offense, it's nice having someone with 71 speed at third base. So I have him as the number 1 third baseman right now. And obviously you get him from the NL collection, which is not exactly easy to complete, but he is the best one to have by far. The next best third baseman, I actually think it's probably Eddie Matthews, man. This Eddie Matthews right here, 85, 105 with an 89 vision. He's going to be elite versus right-handed pitching. He's got a good swing. 62, 84 versus left, which isn't too bad. He's got good vision. His defense is okay, and he has 52 speed. but he does bat left-handed, which is nice to have in your lineup so you don't get a ton of righties in there. So I would definitely go with Eddie Matthews in the number 2 spot. And then in the number 3 spot, honestly, guys, it just goes to show you how good both of these cards are. Again, I would go third base, secondary position. I would go with Glaber. Honestly, I would go with Glaber here because you don't need the range at third base for him to move around that much. So has 81 arms. So I really like this card a lot. Or again, you go Tatis, you go Carlos Correa from the Astros as well. I haven't really got to try that card that much. Honestly, I guess I need to give that card a try to see how he compares to these two. But I don't know, these two are beasts. So that's pretty much what I'd roll with at third base. You could also roll with Joey Gallo as well, but let's go ahead and finish this video off. Let's get into the outfield rankings, and I just put all the outfielders in the same spot because so many outfielders can play different positions. A lot of times by the end of the year, you're gonna have like 3 center fielders out there, or maybe like 2 center fielders and 1 left fielder. So I just group, when I do these kind of ratings, I group all the outfielders together. Obviously, number 1, Mickey Mantle. I don't know what much more needs to be said. This card can get even better once it gets once it gets rubied. The same with Gary Sheffield, I should say, as well. 110, 125, 119, 102, 91 vision. I can go up to 94, I believe. His speed can go up to 95. His fielding can go up to a 90. He's a switch hitting player with power. It's one of the best cards we've ever had in the history of Diamond Dynasty. He's extremely good. He's the number 1 player. He's the number 1 player, not only in the outfield, he's the number 1 player in the entire game. He's the best player in the entire game by far. And number 2, we have Mike Trout. Mike Trout is an absolute beast. 91 12 power versus right. 83 88. He has only 58 vision, but it just doesn't feel like that. He has 85 fielding, 89 arm strength, 83 speed. He's good on offense. He's good on defense. I currently have 53 home runs with him online and 336 plate appearances, and I'm almost hitting 400 with him. He's really solid. He's got everything you'd ever want, you know. He's got stuff that boosts him when he plays during the day, when he plays at home, when he's got a first pitch hitter, he's got a phase, which means he gets a bigger PCI with 2 strikes. He's got dead red, he's got breaking ball hitter. He's got everything you'd ever want. The first thing you really should do, honestly, save up your stubs and just get this card. It's going to take a big weight off your shoulders for collections, and it's just like, he's such a good player that it's going to be worth it to have him on your team. Like, you can almost use whatever you can build around him as the best player on your team. I would go for him first type of deal. Like, I would make sure I got him first. It's usually one of the first cards I buy out of the market every year is a Mike Trout, and this year he's as good as ever. In the number 3 spot, we have Reggie Jackson. I chose him first out of that pack, the Legends pack or what have you, at Silver 1. Just because his hitting's ridiculous. 110, 115, 101 with 80 vision, 94 contact. So he's got a lot of power versus both sides. It's tough to find that kind of hitting right now. There's only a couple cards that have like really elite hitting like that, as we're early in the card set. 68 fielding. His fielding is not very good. That's the problem. I like to move him to the bench just because I'm going to use a pinch hitter every game. I like to move him to the bench sooner rather than later. I have to put up with his fielding right now. It's kind of like what I've been comparing him to is it's kind of like fielding with Babe Ruth. You know, it's not great, but you put up with it because of his bat. 71 speed out there. So I'm trying to, hopefully they'll release some another outfielder that has amazing power, that actually has some defense, and I can move Reggie to the bench. But he's so good on offense. You just got to put up with his defense and hope he makes up for it with his bat right now. He's an absolute beast. When you have all the cards and you really look at stuff, he made the most sense to me to get with my Silver 1. All right, the next best outfielder, and I think this card gets forgotten about a lot, as many even know so. 114, 110, 80, only 73 power versus left, 120 or 112 vision. A good rule of thumb when I do these videos, guys, is if I have, you know, I'll have my camera like down over here, and I moved it over for like one of them. If they don't have power that's above my head, if they don't have power that you guys can see, and they don't have like that in their hitting stats so you guys can see, just know that they don't have a lot of power, and they're probably, I don't know, it's just not good. That's why this card is lower on the list. I don't see this card being used very often by a lot of people, but he's not bad. He's gonna be able to, 80 and 73 is just, it's low, man. But 114, 110 with 112 vision is solid. Everything about the rest of this card is solid. 87 vision, doesn't really have a good arm, does have 87 speed. He's just kind of one of those hitters that's like a hitter that hits it to the gaps. That can be valuable, but it's also like I still rather have a guy that's easier to, you know, that has over 100 in power. Like, it's too bad he doesn't have 80 contact, 70 or 80 contact versus right, 73 contact versus left with 114 power, 110 power. You know, like that would be incredible with like a 122 vision. Like that would be like the most incredible card ever, but it's kind of the opposite way. So Minoso comes in at number 4. And then the rest of them, they kind of get a little bit murky as far as which one you want to consider as the best. I mean, Bellinger's still really good. Just has like one of the best swings in the game. 78, 88, 85. He's got the power. The vision's low. The contact versus left is very low too. It's hard to hit left on legend with him. But he does have 90 fielding, 99 arm. Very solid. 76 speed. Can play multiple positions. 26 homers with him online. 372. He's still very solid, but it's just, I don't know. That he was the guy pretty much that Reggie Jackson replaced on my team. I just wish he had more power, more vision, all that kind of stuff. One of my favorite players IRL, so it was really tough to do that, but it is what it is right now with him. Another card that is getting really popular on the comp scene. I have to go and find him. He's in the collections. This is a really popular card right now on the competitive scene, especially if you don't have Reggie Jackson. You got to complete 5 of the prospects and you get this Dylan Carson. He's been really popular. 87, 79, 74, 80. He's just got a really good swing. He has gold defense, so you can put him in left, and he's a switch hitter with 66 speed. So this is a pretty popular card. He comes in at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's number 6 on our list. So I got Dylan Carson there. And then we got a couple more cards here, all from Team Affinity. We have also in left, I mean, honestly, this card is really good. Honestly, he's got such a good swing. He has 90, 100. He has 70 vision, 88, 77. His fielding isn't very good, but you're gonna put him on left field, which is where you put your worst defender. Face of the franchise, Juan Soto, absolute beast. Absolute beast. And you get to do the Soto shuffle, man. Another great outfield card that comes in here is I really like Byron Buxton. 64, 72, 65, 67. Not a good hitter, but, you know, 94 fielding, 97 arm, 99 speed. It's tough to, that's really solid. I probably will have this card eventually on my bench to be my pinch runner and to be like a defensive replacement late in games. Probably won't have to, or won't want to hit with him very often in those situations, but I like to keep like a pinch runner on my team when I can until we get like really deep into the card set and we got somebody that can really hit and is really fast type of deal. So I'm going to keep I recommend Buxton right now quite a bit. He's a good card to have right now. Bat him in your 8 spot and just take pitches with him. Gallo as well. You know, you can play Gallo all over the place, first, third. He go like in any of these rankings as well. Has massive power. He's going to strike out a lot with the vision, but when he does connect, it's going to go, and he's got good fielding and good arm strength to play him anywhere. I guess the other right fielder I would consider, just as like one more card before we call it good for the video, would be Aaron Judge. I recommend Aaron Judge a lot too. 95, 95, 26 vision, great defense. This is a really good card too. It's just kind of like another Gallo. It's like the right-handed Gallo. Lots of pop, little vision, good defense, mediocre speed. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Make sure to go check out the new Underdog series if you guys haven't checked that out. It's going to be a lot of fun to upload. You know, we're going to have more tips videos all the time and stuff like this. So you can always leave me a comment if you would like to see more videos like this, or if you have a video idea for me. I love video ideas. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.